You poured water on a helpless beggar, but you had no idea you were humiliating a prince. That morning, the entire market laughed as a crippled stranger crawled through the dust. Rich merchants mocked him. A cruel woman called him filth. But one young seamstress did something nobody expected. She gave him her own lunch. She did not know the man before her was Prince Obiora, heir to the kingdom. His father, the dying king, had given him one final mission: find a woman who could love a man without seeing his crown. So Obiora abandoned his palace, disguised himself as a starving beggar, and entered the market where people revealed their true hearts. Most failed the test. One girl did not. But her kindness would soon cost her everything. Because when a stolen gold bracelet appeared inside her basket, the whole market turned against her. And the beggar she had protected was about to reveal the most shocking secret of all. The man she thought had nothing, owned the kingdom. The secret would soon turn the market upside down, forcing everyone to face what they had done to this helpless man. Prince Obiora had spent his entire life watching people change when they learned his name. Women smiled at the crown, merchants bowed for profit, and families pushed their daughters toward him because they wanted palace wealth. His father, the Igui, was growing weaker, and before his death he wanted one thing: a wife who loved the man, not the throne. So Obiora made a dangerous plan. With his trusted friend Odum, he disguised himself as a poor beggar with a crutch and entered his father's market. His hands were deliberately dirted, his clothes were torn, and his royal identity vanished. The first day, people laughed and drove him away. Some refused him food. Others treated him as if he were less than human. Then Adana noticed him. She was a poor seamstress caring for her sick mother, yet she still gave Obiora food without asking for money or his story. "You are hungry," she told him. That simple kindness struck deeper than any palace compliment. Obiora returned the next day, and Adana welcomed him again. Soon, he learned her dream: to own 10 sewing machines and help women earn enough to send their children to school. Yet neither knew the dangers that waited, while the market watched in secret. The more time Obiora spent with Adana, the more impossible the test became. She treated him like a human being when everyone else treated him like dirt. She even gave him a place to sit, joking that his account already owed her 3 meals and 1 smile. But Adana's kindness had a price. Her mother needed medicine, and the old sewing machine that supported their family was failing. Then doctors offered a chance to repair Adana's injured leg, but the surgery was far beyond what she could afford. Obiora watched her struggle and began feeling guilty about the lie he had created. Meanwhile, the cruel chief noticed that the mysterious beggar was receiving special treatment. He also saw how fiercely Adana defended him. Suspicion grew. When Adana finally learned that surgery might cost thousands, Obiora quietly arranged a way to help without revealing his identity. But Adana made the ultimate sacrifice. She sold the sewing machine that represented her future so Obiora could receive the surgery she believed he desperately needed. She honestly thought she was saving one helpless person. Then everything collapsed. The market chief planted a valuable gold bracelet inside Adana's basket and shouted that she had stolen it. The crowd instantly believed him. Her stall was destroyed, her reputation was ruined, and the same people she had fed and helped now demanded that she leave. Obiora stood nearby, still wearing his beggar disguise, and finally realized the test had gone too far. He ordered Odum to discover who had planted the bracelet before sunrise. But before he could expose the truth, his father's message arrived: the 2 weeks were over. The prince had to return. In front of the market, Obiora removed the disguise and revealed who he really was. The beggar they had mocked was the crown prince. The market fell silent. Adana was stunned. She had poured her food, her money, and finally her entire future into a man who had never needed her help. She felt betrayed. Obiora tried to explain that test was meant to reveal genuine kindness, but Adana refused to celebrate. She told him she had been richer when he was poor, because at least then she knew what was real. The king heard everything and confronted his son. Obiora admitted that he had found the woman he wanted, but his own lie had cost him her trust. The Igui told him the truth plainly: a test that finds a diamond can still destroy it. Meanwhile, the stolen bracelet case was brought before the kingdom. Witnesses finally confessed that the chief had ordered the theft, and another witness revealed that the bracelet had been planted. Then Obiora produced the market ledger, exposing how the chief had been secretly overcharging poor merchants and stealing their money. The king stripped him of his position and ordered the stolen money returned to the widows and struggling families. The woman who had helped the chief was also exposed. Justice was served, but Adana still refused to forgive Obiora immediately. He offered to restore the money she had sacrificed, but she rejected it. A machine can be replaced, she told him, but trust cannot. That sentence changed him. Instead of buying her forgiveness with wealth, Obiora decided to use his wealth to help people who truly needed it. He funded a center for medical treatment and vocational training, beginning with the same dream Adana had once described: women learning trades and building better lives for their children. And onward. Months later, Adana's dream stood where her broken sewing machine once had. Rows of new machines filled the workshop, and women who had once struggled to survive now had work. Her mother's treatment was secured, and the market's widows received the money stolen from them. Obiora returned without pretending to be poor, but he approached Adana without a crown, asking for forgiveness rather than demanding acceptance. He admitted every lie and promised there would be no more hidden tests. Adana finally saw that beneath the disguise was a man who had learned the lesson he was supposed to teach others: true wealth is not what you possess, but what you plant in people. When Obiora eventually asked her to marry him, she agreed on one condition: that whenever they argued, he would sit on the old stool where she had first treated him like a human being. The prince laughed and accepted. Their wedding became a celebration of a love that survived poverty, deception, humiliation, and betrayal. The kingdom remembered the day a beggar was revealed as a prince, but Adana remembered something simpler: she had never helped him because he was royal. She helped because he was hungry. And that is why the woman who saw no crown became the only woman worthy of wearing one. And the kingdom would remember the lesson: kindness can change one prince and an entire kingdom always.